Nelson Mandela, a name synonymous with hope, with freedom, with the triumph of the human spirit. But before the legend, there was a boy. Born in a small village in South Africa, Mandela's journey began in Kunu. His childhood was simple. He tended cattle. He listened to stories from the elders, stories of his ancestors, of their bravery. Little did he know he would one day write his own story, a story that would change the world. Mandela was a bright student. He excelled in his studies. He yearned for knowledge. He saw education as a key to unlock a better future for himself, for his people. Driven by this belief, he attended university. He studied law. He wanted to fight injustice. Little did he know this path would lead him to become the face of a movement against a system that divided, that oppressed, that denied basic human rights based on the color of one's skin. Mandela became a lawyer. He witnessed firsthand the brutality of apartheid. This system, enforced by the white minority government, segregated people by race. Black South Africans were treated as second-class citizens in their own land. Mandela couldn't stand by and watch. He joined the African National Congress, ANC. This political party sought to dismantle apartheid through peaceful means. He organized protests. He rallied against unjust laws. His voice grew stronger. It became a beacon of hope for the oppressed. But his actions also drew the attention of the authorities. The government responded with force. Peaceful protests were met with violence. Mandela realized that the path to freedom wouldn't be easy. It would be paved with sacrifice. Joining the ANC was a turning point. Mandela, once a young lawyer, found his calling in the fight for justice. He rose through the ranks. He inspired others with his passion, his courage, his unwavering commitment to equality. He became a leader, a voice for the voiceless. He traveled throughout South Africa. He spoke out against the injustices of apartheid. His message resonated deeply with the people, but his activism came at a cost. The government saw him as a threat. They monitored his every move, arrested him, tried to silence his message of hope, but they couldn't break his spirit. Mandela's belief in equality only grew stronger. He understood that freedom wouldn't come easy. It would require sacrifice. It would require courage. It would require unwavering determination. The government's crackdown on the ANC intensified. Mandela and his comrades were labeled as terrorists. They were forced to go underground, to operate in secrecy. Mandela continued to lead. He traveled secretly, organizing resistance. The fight for freedom took on many forms, from peaceful protests to acts of sabotage against government installations. But the risks grew ever higher. In 1964, Mandela and several other ANC leaders were arrested. They were sentenced to life imprisonment, sentenced to spend the rest of their days on the infamous Robben Island. The world watched in disbelief, a symbol of hope, imprisoned. The fight seemed lost. But Mandela's spirit wouldn't be broken. Even within the confines of his cell, he remained a beacon of hope. Section 5, a symbol of hope. Mandela's global impact. Robben Island, a place of isolation, of harsh conditions. But Mandela's spirit couldn't be contained by prison bars. His story resonated far beyond the island, far beyond the borders of South Africa. The world rallied behind him. Free Mandela became a global cry. Musicians, artists, politicians, people from all walks of life demanded his release. They recognized the injustice of apartheid. Within prison, Mandela remained a leader. He organized resistance among his fellow prisoners. He studied. He wrote. He never gave up hope for a free and equal South Africa. His imprisonment, intended to silence him, had the opposite effect. It amplified his message, transformed him into an international icon, a symbol of the struggle against oppression. Section 6, Freedom's Dawn, release and negotiations. The world watched, they waited, they hoped. After 27 years, the impossible happened. In 1990, Nelson Mandela walked free. The world erupted in celebration. His release marked a turning point in history. It signaled the beginning of the end of apartheid. Mandela, now in his 70s, showed incredible resilience. He emerged not with bitterness, but with a message of forgiveness and reconciliation. He began negotiating with the government. He called for an end to violence. He urged his supporters to embrace peace. His message resonated throughout the nation. Years of negotiation followed. It was a delicate dance, a balancing act between demands for justice and the need for peace. Section 7, A Nation Reborn, Mandela as President. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections. Millions of black South Africans voted for the first time in their lives. The world watched in awe. The result? A resounding victory for Nelson Mandela and the ANC. Mandela became South Africa's first black president. His journey from prisoner to president was a testament to his unwavering commitment to equality, to his belief in the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most formidable obstacles. As president, Mandela focused on healing his divided nation. He worked tirelessly to bridge the racial divide, to build a society based on equality and respect. His presidency was marked by forgiveness, by a commitment to reconciliation, by a deep understanding that true freedom required more than just the dismantling of oppressive laws. It required healing the wounds of the past. Section 8. Forgiveness and Reconciliation, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Mandela knew that true healing required more than just forgetting. It required acknowledging the pain of the past. He championed the creation of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or TRC. This groundbreaking body provided a platform for victims of apartheid to share their stories, to confront their oppressors, to seek forgiveness and understanding. It was a testament to Mandela's belief in the power of forgiveness, his belief that even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, humanity could find a path towards healing. The world watched the TRC's work with a mixture of admiration and skepticism. It was a bold experiment, a testament to the power of truth and reconciliation. It showed the world that a better future was possible. Section 9, A Legacy of Equality, Mandela's Enduring Impact. Nelson Mandela stepped down as president in 1999. He left behind a legacy of hope, of forgiveness, of the triumph of the human spirit over adversity. His impact extends far beyond the borders of South Africa. He showed the world that even in the face of oppression, hope can endure, that change is possible, that even the most deeply rooted injustices can be overcome. Mandela's legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of people around the world. It serves as a reminder that each of us has the power to fight for a more just and equitable world. His story inspires us to stand up for what we believe in, to never give up hope, to embrace forgiveness, to strive for a world where equality reigns supreme, a world that Mandela dared to dream of, a world that we, inspired by his legacy, can help create.